The following video was brought to you by GoDaddy.com. Save 10% on world-class hosting or any GoDaddy product when using the code POD88 at checkout. Now, the latest and greatest from the Jiggy Jaguar. Get more info at jiggyjaguar.info.
And now, live from Hutchinson, Kansas. Well, I don't know about any of that. It's the Jiggy Jaguar Experience, starring comedian James Davis. Come on, come on. Here's Jiggy.
Welcome to the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Experience. Of course, Sundays live, 2 to 4 Central, 3 to 5 Eastern. And, of course, 24/7 over there at jiggyjaguar.net. And, we're also on 12 to 2 Pacific, but I don't ever count those people because I don't understand how to convert their time zone into mine. And jiggyjaguar.net, newsletter, social sites, you can donate and help buy our guests all sorts of things. 661-349-8255 if you want to give us a holla, holla, holla. And, of course, from the good old, as I love to tell the professor, the rat-infested attic. I don't know why this is a rat-infested attic when we are on a bottom level, and I have not seen one rat. But I've been told that that's where we broadcast from. And, of course, I have to throw out one of my random nicknames that I've been called. Let's go with this. The most mediocre radio personality in North Central Kansas, Jiggy Jag with you. And we are doing the damn thing today. We've got victims of Spotlight in the studio. They are, I guess, what would you guys be considered? Would you guys be considered melodic heavy metal musicians? I don't know.
Rock. Hard rock.
Hard rock.
Trying to step back from metal a little.
Definitely hard.
Okay.
Pretty. I was calling us dirty pretty sexy rock when we first got started, but the rest of our songs aren't nearly as sexy as normal, so.
But they are hard.
And then we have in studio also, we have our special guest co-host for the day, Mr. Michael Murphy. How are you, sir?
I'm pretty good. You?
Pretty good, actually. Now, let's take this first segment here and chat with Mike. Mike, talk to me a little bit about your background. You have an amazing background. You have a bed and breakfast in what, Pretty Prairie? Sylvia. And then you're an author, and then you raise animals. Alpacas. What is that like?
Well, it's completely normal to me.
Okay.
I've always been, I've never wanted to sit around and just watch TV or twiddle my thumbs or whatever, so I've always kind of had my fingers in something and kind of an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking for a way to make a buck and enjoy it while I'm doing it.
Now, talk to me about your books. You've written one book and you're working on a second.
Yeah, just one has been published and the other one's in process. Called Spare Time. Came out last year, and it's done pretty well, and we've had a good time with it.
And we've got Victims of Spotlight with us today. You guys played a show on Friday at the Lizards Lounge with, and I'm going to probably get this wrong, but Everybody Panic.
You got it right that time.
Oh, okay, good, because on Friday I was Everyone Panic. Everyone Panic because it's Everybody Panic. I don't know. I tried to save myself. That didn't work. And then, of course, you guys. And then, of course, the band that just loves me to death, Rain in Peril.
Yes.
They love me. They think that I'm the coolest guy in the world.
Who's Rain in Peril?
Who the fuck is Rain? Who the fuck?
Oh, and then, of course, the Evolution of Pain.
Yes.
I call them just Evolution of Pain, and they get angry. It's the Evolution of Pain. I think it's a registered service mark.
I just use the acronym online. I'm like, God, who needs a band with 4 words in their name?
Yeah, who would do that?
I know.
Who would do such a
Bunch of
thing?
pretentious pricks would do that.
F those guys.
Narrow it down.
Now, you guys are going to be playing a big show this next weekend here in the great Salt City of Hutchinson, Kansas.
Hopefully a big show.
Yep, hopefully a big show.
We,
Why wouldn't it be not a big show?
I don't know. We've tried to learn to not count what Facebook attendance says as to how big a show will be. But I haven't checked the weather yet, but that may be the only determining factor as to how big of a show it is. We'll see. We since we got this band together and started rolling, we purposefully have not played Hutch. Really, we've just been kind of going and getting the set as tight as we can in other places. And
In other places.
there's a couple of people that still try and just make the trip down to Wichita or wherever to see us, but this will be our actual first full Hutch show as this band.
That is awesome.
And is that the Rusty Needle?
The Rusty Needle. I
I've
love the
had my
name of
tetanus
that
shot,
place.
So I'm not worried.
Okay.
You've had and you play there all the time, so
Every Wednesday.
every Wednesday, so you're good. And we've got the other two members of Victims of Spotlight who haven't been talking. Of course, we've got the Heartbreaker with us. I had to hear the whole entire weekend about you. Your name got brought up the entire weekend.
Well, I got to do a lot of sleeping.
Here, so.
I'll say I got to curl up in a ball and sleep while you got to deal with that. Congratulations, and you're welcome.
She just absolutely is obsessed with you. I just don't understand these things. How come she can't be obsessed about Twinkie and Tom?
I don't know. I'm like human catnip. I don't get it.
I'm too much of an asshole to take it, so.
I try and make
He
it
is.
obvious that I'm married on purpose so that I don't have to deal with stuff like that. So,
I'm wondering if that would actually help me.
right?
Oh,
I
I'm
told
married.
Colton
Can't do it. Sorry.
The other day, I was like, "Is it wrong that that's a small reason of why I went ahead and got married, is so I don't have to deal with that?"
Just go ahead and just take your right off the
Yeah.
market and not deal with it.
Well, the one thing I like about Colton is that he's got those glasses on all the time, so you don't really know if he's ever really paying attention to you anyway.
I'm not.
I think Michael Murphy ought to get a pair of those glasses and rock those things. I think you ought to become a rock star there, sir.
I get too much else going on.
They gotta be mirrored though, so you can't see your eyes.
So you're just looking at yourself when you try to look at it.
Now, let's see. What else do we have? You guys are before we got on the air, we played your we played the song that you guys have posted up on Reverb Nation. Talk to me about this lonely track that's up there all by itself.
we wrote that like in the transition period, like during the Beneath the Burning Sun. We wrote that when we were messing around, and then we went to record the last Beneath the Burning Sun album. We decided just to record that song, so that's why it's recorded and not some of the other ones.
It's that simple.
That simple.
Wow.
That was the first song we jammed on, got going, and then we had some spare time the day we went and finished up Memoirs.
Yeah.
We decided to go ahead and get something that we would be able to send out there for people to start to listen to.
That's cool.
Didn't we actually finish writing that song the day before we went to the studio? Was the day
before,
of?
I think.
It was like the weekend before.
Was it the weekend before?
I just remember when I wrote the riff, I just wanted a simple riff that would be easily remembered, and that's what I came up with.
The professor's getting a call from the CIA or something. I don't know. He's having to bolt out of the room. He was getting ready to ask you guys a question. He had that look on his face, and then all of a sudden the phone started ringing.
Do you guys get phone calls? Do you ever get phone calls while you're on the air?
Yes.
Please, if you get a phone call, say you're going to put them on hold and let me do the hold music.
Okay.
Let me be the voiceover for the hold guy.
I have a famous promo we used to play on when we were doing the show in Salina of rappers with mixtapes, and they always just call in. And they would just call in anytime. I could be talking to a studio guest, somebody on the phone, whatever, and they call in, they're like, "Hey, dog," and I'm like, "Who is this?" "Hey, man, I got my mixtape, dog," and I'm like, "Who is this?" He's like, "Yeah, I love you guys, man," and then they'd always hang up. I'm assuming. Yeah, Ross used to just love the crap out of this. He'd be like, "It's Sunday," and so we always have drunk rappers call us. See, you don't have to ever deal with that at a bed and breakfast. Nobody's ever drunk, Michael. They just...
No, we kick them out if they get too far out.
And you have, and I'm assuming you have security to throw them out.
Yeah, that would be me too.
That'd be you too. Now, Michael, do you have anything for victims of Spotlight? You have any interview questions or anything you want to ask them?
Yeah, who are you?
That would
I'm just kidding.
You want us to introduce ourselves, or?
I was here earlier when you introduced yourself.
Okay.
Who are you? That's I guess
we're
apparently
victims-
that's
we're
the
victims of
question.
Spotlight.
We don't really know, and that's why we keep forming these bands.
You've been around long
We're trying to
enough
figure out who we are.
I'll hear you because I listen to classic.
There you
rock,
go.
So do I.
Eagles,
I have a question
doors.
for Mike.
What? Jump in there.
Okay,
You can.
do alpacas have a camel toe?
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah, they're related to camels.
Good.
The more you know.
Whoa! Not one, but two.
Wow. Now, Twinkie, you have yet to send me that meme for me to post online.
No, I'm not.
Wait, what
His
meme?
attorney isn't really going to let that happen.
I want to know what meme you're talking about here.
He can show you at practice.
He can show you, but we can't ever get it near the camera or have it sent. I do also want to thank you guys for bringing my tie. Apparently, I have. See this? There it is.
You should be sporting that right now.
I could do that. I don't exactly know how to put on a tie.
I was going to say, I don't know if Jiggy's classy
Like
enough to know how to tie.
that thing, I
Yeah,
guess.
I would put that on there.
Like that.
You would send that to Jiggy?
That. Look at that. Oh no, it works. I can do the camera. I could put it over the
sure it
mic.
would
Look
work,
at
so it
that.
would
Okay.
I got all sorts of.
If you
I
actually
don't know what
want
the
a
hell I'm doing
record,
with this.
Then you can post that, but then you have to make a blood oath that you won't ever talk about her ever again. That's the rule.
I beg of you.
Hey, when I was going through my breakup with Stumpy, Christy Stump,
I said you probably divorced.
all of my friends did the same thing. You have to stop talking about her.
Well, it's like the only,
So,
she keeps thinking that we're writing songs about her, and the only thing that's even remotely been written about her was actually my idea, and it was because she just was talking crap on VOS in general and didn't really get something. So the song
Yeah.
is called Misperception, but it's MISS Perception because she just was seeing it from her own way and refusing to see anything objectively. So
And you've listened to Demons We Create, okay? I haven't written the most fucked up song yet. Just trust me. be no question.
There will be no question whatsoever. Have you? You know, we were talking about alpacas and camel toes earlier. I don't know how this gets back to this, but
I knew you'd find a way.
now with what? How the heck did you get interested in raising alpacas? Did you just wake up one day and was like, hey, let's?
Well, the area we've got out there is we don't have a tremendous amount of land, and I was looking for something that we could do. And of course, the way our wonderful tax system is set up, if you work for somebody, you pay lots of taxes. But if you have your own business, you get some nice advantages. And so that was kind of what leads to it. So then I looked for what would work on the acreage that we had, and there's a lot of options there. We could have raised dogs or other smaller animals.
Yeah.
Like that. But the alpacas it's kind of a new industry, and so it sort of piqued our interest a little bit. And they're pretty neat animals, so we've enjoyed it.
That's cool. Now we are. The professor has rejoined us. What was that? Who was that phone call? Was that the CIA? Was that Labatt Larry? Who was that?
The reality show deal.
That was a reality show deal. Did you have any? You look like you were getting ready to ask a question.
Some profound look in your eyes.
We have Victims of Spotlight playing the summer concert in the park series. What date are they going to be there?
You'd ask me that.
I believe that's July 20th.
Yes,
Alrighty.
I believe so.
Somebody in this room knows.
We
Somebody
want
in
a
this
whole lot
room
of
knows.
people to come
I
out and
do, but
see
it's in
all
that folder.
Because if we have a good turnout, the city's going to let us run that Hutch Fest next year. We're going to bring bands like Hinder, Rat, and Winger in here, and then Victims of Spotlight can play
Winger?
right before they show
Wait,
up.
what? Winger?
Winger.
We want to open for Winger next year.
You guys like Winger? Kip's my buddy, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Beavis and Butthead moment I want to live.
The last time I hung out
Winger.
with him, we were lucky we had a driver because we crawled out of a bar.
Nice.
How old were you? 17?
No, this was about 3 years ago, and yeah, we got a pretty good laugh out of it. He said we looked like two drunks trying to hold each other up after both of our wives just filed for divorce on us that day. But yeah, it was a little bit of fun. His dad lives in Wichita actually.
Oh,
He
yeah?
moved back to Denver, but yeah, that's why he comes around once in a while.
So
they
victims
went for
of
Winger.
Spotlight and Winger.
They want Winger, all right.
Now,
I'm
are we
do
gonna have? And I shouldn't say this because Tom's gonna give me that look. But are we going to have a photography policy in place at this show? Or at Winger? I would much rather have it at Winger because someone is gonna want to show up.
Okay.
Here we go.
We're changing mics up.
As Tom's attorney, I would like to remind everybody to get your popcorn ready. And that's it.
I'm gonna be cool about this.
I'm gonna be cool about
What's
this.
the profanity policy?
Actually, the stations will dump out if we go a little bit too far. So there's certain stations that will dump out, and certain ones that'll
So
just be
there's
like,
already two-
oh,
Me and him each dropped one.
yes.
Okay, so right.
They will just dump out, and it'll be like you took a breath.
I will casually say that if you decide to enforce
I can't.
limited photography policy,
I can't do that.
then you need to do it right. And what we need to do is like a couple of days before, one of us will post something about Winger, and then at the moment you see that post, you just start putting pictures of yourself with Winger up on Facebook to remind us all that you're the coolest person in this town.
Wow.
And then after that,
I did not know that this existed in you, sir.
so then after that, then you need to put a long post about how it would be ideal if you actually don't physically go there, but then you post about how people from your crew were there and represented it more than anybody else in the area. So that's how you should handle that policy.
Wow.
Let me add to that.
Holy shnikes. That was totally...
That right there is 5 years worth of frustration.
That was out of left field. That was completely out of left field because usually Tom is the guy that will privately message me and be like, can you just knock it off?
We have the chief of police running security for them events. So if them unannounced photographers showed up, what was Jiggy thinking?
I was thinking about having them escorted out of the park just to be
Well,
a dick.
I want to take pictures of that and put it on Facebook.
But
every day.
You also know where I sit with that, so that's not necessarily directed at
I
multiple
know.
people from there. So.
I know it's directed at parties involved, but not the one that everyone's thinking.
Right.
The one that I'm thinking, but I don't know. I'm trying to change because Sean praised me at the last Third Thursday. He's like, you really haven't caused any problems the last couple
It
years.
really hasn't.
I told him it's bad for business.
Somebody needed to
You should have told me that years ago.
I tried orchestrating a pro wrestling match between him and Thomas, but so far it hasn't happened.
Make it
We
MMA.
got the ring available.
Can I be the ref?
Make it MMA.
Okay.
Make it MMA. That would be awesome.
I was going to tell you when you were making fun of Midgetaw at the show Friday night.
That guy's awesome.
You kept bringing it up. You're like, oh, it's my favorite midget. And he keeps walking through, and I wanted to be like, he's wearing a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu shirt. You might want to tone it down a second. You're going to get the midget arm bar out. And I'm going to laugh as I put it on YouTube.
Hey, I remember when we went to Gallagher up there in Salina, and Gallagher squirted me with pop, and the crowd did this huge pop. I looked at Ross, and I said, you've got to get that on YouTube tonight. And he's like, why? And I said, that will be the most viewed thing you've ever had, because people love to watch me get my ass kicked. And he was like, okay. And then he shows up the next day for the radio show, and he's setting up camera, and he's like, you were right. That thing got 300 views within the span of 12 hours.
At least you know what sells.
So, Victims of Spotlight is, there's a lot of people that keep telling me, it's just Beneath the Burning Sun. They just got a different name.
False.
So false. First off, of our originals, I think I have screaming vocals in like maybe one song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everything else is Colton and I harmonizing with Twinkie.
Look at that.
There's only maybe like 2 songs that are even remotely metal riffy, and everything
Yeah.
else is just more of a hard rock vibe. I mean,
That's
I
cool.
like that better myself too.
we know what we're up against. We know that everybody's just going to assume it's BTVS, and then when they see it and it's not, some people are going to be disappointed and some people are going to dig it. But it's purposefully a lot more listener friendly and can approach a broader spectrum of fans.
It's as far as music goes, it's not as like with the Beneath Burning Sun song. It would take everything was thought out, and we're gonna do this there, and with this band we're kind of just play something. I'll just sit there and play 100 riffs, and then Tom will pick one out and then just roll with it.
And then the other day at practice, Jeff was just sitting there playing just this bass riff, and I just picked up the microphone and started humming. And then, what was it, like 10 minutes later, Tom's like, okay. He's like, we're just going to start writing vocals before I put down drum parts. And then we wrote a song in like, 10 minutes? We wrote a new song in 10 minutes.
That would have never happened in Beneath the Burning
Yeah,
Sun.
never
Well,
happened.
I heard a rumor that the reason that you guys changed your name wasn't that you changed the style of music or anything like that. It's that you guys quit being devout followers of Al Gore and no longer believe in global warming, so you're not beneath the burning sun.
That's not true.
Okay.
What in the hell, Bobby?
I did vote for Al Gore, and I would have voted for Al Gore if he would have ran again, and I think he should have stayed in the race and not dropped out, because I think when they recounted, he would have won.
And every time I see a post about, oh, it's snowing later in the year than it should, F your global warming, it makes me want to digitally slap people, because that's part of the process of global warming is more severe storms more frequently.
Longer winter,
Yeah.
basically the season
Global
shift.
warming doesn't mean it's just going to be warmer every day. This isn't.
So that girl lied to me that told me this.
Sometimes girls lie.
Especially the one that we know.
Whatever, they all lie.
Sometimes.
They all lie all the
Everybody
time.
lies.
True.
I know 2 people that never lie, and that's Jennifer. I don't know why I'm able to keep my face that straight, and Jay Marie. Those 2 never lie. They never lie.
Except
Now-
like the rug on the floor here.
No. Speaking of Jennifer, she's not going to be here today. She just texted me and said, "Oh, I'm not going to make it. Give Jeff my best."
You didn't tell her I was going to make it.
First off, I want to know what your best is supposed to be. Secondly, I'm going to let you give that to Twinkie.
I did not for the team, buddy.
You can have it all.
Take one for the
I don't want it.
team.
That's what she said.
Now, with this show coming up, it's you guys as the headliner, I'm assuming.
Yes.
You're not having to open in your own hometown.
Well, honestly, like, we wouldn't have minded, but Rain and Peril, like, if we were playing with them, we would gladly open for them in
Yeah.
touch, because they're the bosses right now in this town.
Yeah.
And Friday night kind of went to show that. They proved that they belonged opening for Everybody Panic.
That's
Friday
cool.
night. So they did a really good job, and if it was with them or like another well-known
Yeah.
Dutch band, we will open. We don't care.
That's
I mean,
cool.
Every time we've played so far, we've opened. So, but Rain and Pearl had some scheduling conflicts, and they've got a lot of stuff going on with some of their members, so they weren't
Yeah.
able to do it. And we decided that we were going to finally do a solid DeFizz gig from Garden City.
That's
And
cool.
Of those two bands, then at that point we pretty much have to headline.
Yeah.
Well, I feel pretty comfortable with them guys saying this because Winger told me he was insisting
Winger.
on him being the headliner, and
Winger.
Jiggy said that you guys might have a problem about opening for him. And
We'll do Winger a solid. We'll do
We'll do Winger a
We'll do Winger a
solid.
solid and let him headline.
Just once.
Just this
Just
one time.
once. Now, Professor, why would you think that they would be a good match for Winger?
Well, you know,
He
I
did
like
it first.
I like Kip, and these guys kind of like Kip, so you know, and I'm thinking their styles might kind of just go hand in hand, and this won't be a crowd for the like naive type people out there, I guess is what I'm
What?
trying to say. And Kip's got short hair nowadays too, but I think their music will pretty much match.
Well, he needs to grow it back out so him and Colton can hang out and we can get pictures.
There you go. And put them on Facebook. And then,
There you go.
Every day.
I
and
need
I'm
200
st-
pictures taken.
I'm
I
gonna
would
rouse
li-
him in a couple weeks when I talk to him and tell him he needs to bring Fiona out here. But I'm thinking since Fiona's not 21 anymore, she probably don't look like she used to look, so he might be laughing.
You
at
mean
me when I
Fiona
say-
Apple?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I would like. Maybe you guys
I
can
don't
do.
care
Maybe
how
you
old
guys
she
can
is,
explain
she's
this.
Still effing hot. I don't care.
But I don't understand all the hand signs that everyone's doing now. This surfs up thing and this deal.
They
That.
knocked it off the rappers. Man.
I don't understand what that is. These rappers were trying. Keyboy was trying to have me do M's and things last night.
No.
I'm like, what is all these hand signs?
We do the regular horns, not thumb out I love you horns, not Spider-Man.
You guys do the
horns.
flagpole.
We do the old
The
Dio,
flagpole,
point the
yeah.
devil at you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We do the Dio point the horns.
Okay.
But no, I don't know what's up with the. As someone else who hails from Southern California.
Wow.
I don't.
I did not know that McPherson High School was in Southern California. I did not know
Turns
that.
out.
Apparently, that's how that
Turns out,
turns
yeah.
out.
Oh, you're forgetting about the other hand gesture.
Which one?
When in doubt, pinky out.
Oh no, that's
That too.
When
That's
guys,
etiquette. That's different.
Yeah, that's just etiquette. That's when guys in rock and metal bands drink frou-frou drinks. Appletini, but no, yeah, I don't know what's with the surfs up. It's like
Okay, yeah, I don't know what
surround
any of these things
Surround
are.
myself with guys throwing up horns, and I'm surfing, which
Okay,
I'd pay to see that.
that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with all
That would be a viral video on the YouTubes, as they say.
Maybe we'll do a promo pic where we figure out a VOS hand sign. For
That would be
If
great.
he would have been like me and had that 45-year streak of never being around a rapper, he wouldn't even know about any of this to give you a hard time about. Because I wasn't around a rapper.
Well,
for
some of
45
this has
years
nothing to
till
do
I
with a
ran 10.
rapper.
Then that
A
ruined it
certain
one day
rapper.
inside this room here, so my streak got broken. And I don't think I'll live 45 more years, so my 45-year streak's as long as it's going to be without having to see or hang out with a rapper.
Yeah, but now you got street cred.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, you've
See,
hung out with
that's-
Kip Winger.
I
You
learned
got
what
street
a gap
cred.
is and all kinds of other these terms that was above my vocabulary. And I went to college for 7 years and never heard some of the stuff they taught me. So
You
Now,
do calls on the streets.
that's
Right.
right.
Now-
Class in Ebonics.
Now, Michael, when you take pictures with celebrities, because I know that you know a million celebrities,
I know of them.
Do you do the hand signs, or do you just smile like every?
Nah, I'm not a hand sign guy.
You're not a hand sign guy?
You give the thumbs up or the high five?
Yeah, maybe that, yeah.
What about the spocker?
No.
What is that?
Not the spocker.
A spocker. Now,
That almost works for VOS, though.
It does. Whoa, we got
look
a
at that! You got a hand sign. You have a hand sign, baby.
Let's not make that boss's hand sign.
Now, talk to me about what was it like the first time you guys, as VOS, got on stage. Was it
Honestly,
not that big of a deal because you guys have been doing this?
It was the tightest that we had sounded in any project we had been in before, because we kind of overcorrected a little bit when we knew that it was going to have to be
Well, that's cool.
VOS instead of the many playing that show for King Shifter. We practiced 2 days in a row for almost 8 hours each day.
Oh, wow.
And it was for what, 6 or 7 songs?
Yeah.
So by the
Played
time it
some
came,
songs.
by the time it came showtime, it pretty much went off exactly how we
It was
planned
just on.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Jiggy, didn't we hear that the reason that they become victims of Spotlight had something to do about
Here we go.
police floodlights or
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna.
No, I was,
You were gonna talk about something else.
There's a lot
Hey,
more
are
going
you
about
a
us than
professor of
apparently.
rumors?
Professor of rumors.
You sure you don't work at the mill?
What about our name?
Watch Ron's story being spotlighted by the sheriff's department. You know, that little light on their car or something on a 911 stop or something like that.
Oh, when I got the DUI.
God.
That might have been where that started at.
I would just like to say they could stop with my ass.
And here it goes. You got another question?
Had I not had to pull over so somebody could throw up, I would have not gotten a DUI because they wouldn't have had any probable cause to pull over.
or if you weren't driving.
Yeah,
You
here's
wouldn't
what
have got
happened. You broke the law. You got caught breaking the law. And all of a sudden the cops are Gestapo. I've never driven drunk. I've never gotten DUI. Sorry, buddy. This isn't about
You've
you.
never driven drunk.
Nope.
This isn't about you.
Bullshit. No,
I can
honestly,
assure all of you that I have never driven drunk.
That's 'cause
you
you never
nor do
drove.
I intend to. No DUIs for me.
No, Friday night after Nathan bought me that Fireball, I was like, I need to wait a sec before I can drive. And I drank water for 2 hours after that because I don't want to drive even buzzed. Because you guys and my wife are great role models for me as to what not to do. So
It was your guys' fault I got mine anyway.
that's okay.
Now, you guys with the show coming up this weekend, it seems to me that this is going to be a kick-ass show.
We hope so. The only, and this isn't necessarily a complaint because we
Yeah.
know how things work, the only problem with the fact that all we've done is open so far is there are songs that we haven't been able to play yet because you get limited to like a half-hour set.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 12, 13 songs now, so one of the things we're most excited about is being able to play everything.
Yeah.
Because Twinkie plays acoustic guitar on a song, plays rhythm guitar on a song, and we're just ready to get some of that stuff out in front of people too.
And a lot of times, since we're open and we play so early, a lot of people don't even see us.
Right.
People don't get there usually until 2 hours after, the show starts.
The bane of the local music scene.
Well, some words of wisdom, since I know you're going to be playing on the Rusty Needle, don't get MRSA.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Now, something that now, Michael, you are a political science kind of individual,
kinda, yeah.
sort of. Okay, Tom recently has become more politically and culturally, I guess. You do Facebook statuses
Yeah,
and
I've
you
been
tick a
trying
lot
to
of people
back
off.
Yeah, I've been trying to back off. I went ahead
As
and
his
started-
attorney.
Yeah, as my attorney, Colton told me I needed to ease up a little bit, but I started a page that I'll put my rants on. I just haven't gotten to it yet, so. But what
Now,
was the rest of your-
well,
What's
what
that
I was
page?
going to say was Michael, what is your opinion of posting political opinions on social media? Because Tom kind of gets some heat every once in a while.
I've had no problem at all.
Look at
But I
that.
think people just unfriend me. Or block me.
I feel though, like in general, without getting in trouble for ripping people's hearts out on Facebook. I think if you can post 100 pictures of cats, but you can't post something that matters in society or something that we could do to better ourselves as a human race or whatever, then you're wasting the ability we've gotten with the internet to be able to contact each other so instantaneously.
I hate them people that post those pictures of cats.
Like, that's one of the things I saw. I saw something
I
on
hate
there the
those
other day was,
pictures of
okay, if somebody showed up from the distant past, what's the first thing you would have to explain to them? Well, I have this device in my hand, and you can answer any question known to mankind and discuss any deep issue known to mankind, and I use it to talk crap and look at pictures of cats. Like, it's such a waste of the technology and the opportunities we've been given that the moment somebody does post their views and, you know, philosophical, religious, political, everybody's like, well, that disagrees with mine, and just, you know, at least we're talking about it one way or the other, you know.
Just hashtag every post you do is put fuck 'em.
Right.
Because really.
Well, hashtags on Facebook are another thing I get in trouble for. But
Yes.
most of the time it's when I put something from Instagram on Twitter and Facebook. On 2 of the 3, my hashtag works. So if it doesn't work on Facebook, F you. I'm not going to repost just for Facebook. So
I love that about social media. People just when I was at the 140 conference the last couple of years, I heard a lot of people complaining about, well, people use hashtags on Facebook and don't they know that doesn't work? And it's like, who cares?
Well, honestly, I honestly think it's just funny because I put funny hashtags on there. Like, you know, just like when we were going back and forth, and I can't remember what Tom said, but Tom said, I said hashtag things Colton say to make Tom mad, and then he hashtags back things Jeff does to counter Colton.
Yeah. Now I'm an old guy, and I know hash is something that some people eat. Another thing that hash is something that people smoke. So what the hell is a hashtag?
Well, go ahead.
no, you're the expert.
It goes on your car. It goes on your car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the pound sign.
But like, I have no problem with the hashtags until there's 30 of them in one status. It's just like
that's a little ridiculous.
One of the ones I do when it's a Facebook post is I'll you know, hashtag this, hashtag that, hashtags on Facebook. Just to make people be like,
that's fun.
Being self-aware is the key.
See, I got into a conversation one day with my buddy Cody Heitschmidt about hashtags, and he's a big social media guy, and he was telling me, he was like, you're supposed to only use hashtags as like a conversation piece, you know, you're following conversations, and he's like, why is it that some of these people have like 30 hashtags when they do it?
The problem with that, which I've noticed on Instagram especially, is now hashtags are used as pretty much like a search topic.
Yeah.
So if I take a picture of like a Rain and Peril CD, for example, I took a picture of it, and if you use vague hashtags like hashtag metal, hashtag rock, hashtag music, then people who normally wouldn't care what you're posting on your Instagram, they can just go look for hashtag metal, and then they see all these random pictures, and then you get likes and posts and comments from people that normally wouldn't see your stuff. So that's how I kind of started abusing.
Okay, I've got to start abusing hashtags, because
the vague hashtags are the key to get your stuff out there to people that normally wouldn't see it.
I already sort of abuse tags and keywords on YouTube. Like every video I upload, I always put in the tags Thomas Lamb. I don't know why.
I know.
I just,
I also know why.
I just do.
You need a better Jiminy Cricket or a different keyboard if you don't know why.
What I used to do when we were having our feud with Ed Baldwin, Hollywood Ed, up there in Salina, every time we do a rapper interview, I would tag him in it. He just got so angry because he'd go search himself on YouTube, and one time he was down at Access and he was yelling at the top of his lungs, "Why is it I keep getting tagged with all these?" And then of course he had to throw out a bunch of racist words, and I'm like, wow, that was not the point of that, but
what happened to Any Pub is Good Pub?
Okay, I've searched through all this, and I don't see a single hashtag in any of my friends' updates. I got 750 friends, so that means I'm a very old person. Or my friends are all out of touch with the reality of
well, no, if you're
what's
on
going on.
Facebook, you've got friends that actually know the Facebook code and don't have an effed up sense of humor like us.
Oh, okay.
So, looking at some of those pictures, though, you might have friends with an effed up sense of humor.
Oh, I got a lot of
Now, Tom, what do you make of all the problems we have in the country as far as politically and things? Since we're talking political things.
Go. Take a nap.
Whoa. Music video with us.
Wait. As Winkatron's attorney.
Winkatron's attorney.
I'm also going to keep this away from Twinkie now.
Okay.
And go.
No, honestly, it's the whole system's broken. The whole two-party system, I mean, if I were to run for a political office but tell you that I'm not of a certain faith, then it would affect what kind of support I got. Like, that's the whole viewpoint of everything is broken, and it's like right now you've got a Democrat in the White House and Republicans in Congress stopping every single thing he tries to do. Next time, if a Republican gets voted into the White House, it's going to be the exact same thing, only with the reverse parties. It's not because it's Barack Obama. It's not because
exactly.
It's the whole system is set for everybody to screw everybody else and nothing to get done.
Which is not such a bad thing lots of times. If nothing gets done, it's
right.
better than the wrong thing being done.
That's less rules that crimp our life.
They're always worried about lining their pockets, not about actually changing the world.
Yeah, and like this most recent Senate, before they just started switching out seats, I think they actually voted on like 2% of the bills that were put before them, and they work 120 some odd days out of the year and take the rest off, and it's like pay these bills. I mean, pay Congress what any of us in this room make and see if they handle things.
I think got to give them pricks minimum wage.
Yeah.
Pay them what our enlisted guys in the military make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I once read a quote from Chairman Mao of the Chinese government. He said, "We'll never go to war with the American people or America in itself. We don't have to, because every time those idiots pass another law, they come one step closer to being just like us." Mm-hmm. And he was so very true on that.
Yes, very much so. Now, Michael, what do you think of the political system and everything?
Well,
since you've written a book on this and everything else.
Like you said, it's kind of screwed up, and it goes deep into the system. The whole system is kind of, to me, has become sort of a machine that runs. You can change the top layer, but that machine is down, and it's like putting a new coat of paint on it. The machine still runs. Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to have to go down several layers in, because you've got all these agencies, you've got all these, all this mess and everything down in there.
And them damn NGOs that write the damn laws that Congress goes and tries to pass.
Yeah, so you get stuff like that going on, and nobody really knows what's going on, except for the fact they protect themselves. They did the deal here a while back. Everybody got upset about the fact they had insider trading, and these people were all getting wealthy. They pass laws, they get inside information, and they take care of themselves. And yet Martha Stewart goes to prison for insider trading.
The same thing Congress and Senate was doing themselves.
Exactly, for the exact same thing. And then I hear the other day that they passed, they threw some stuff in a couple laws that went through that took that back out. So they passed the law. They made a big deal about it. We're not, no insider trading, and then they quietly passed the law and put it right back in there, so they can go back to doing their same old thing. And that's the kind of stuff they wonder why people are cynical about politics.
Yeah.
They keep that stuff quiet so they can line their pockets and make big money without actually having to accept the outright bribe from a corporation. And then something that should be on the news, which never is because they're worried about some off-the-wall stupid thing, was actually the Supreme Court had a case come before them about legalization of marijuana, where it'd be just like alcohol. It lost 5-4. The only Republican judge that said no to it was Anthony Scalia. Otherwise, it would have been passed, and you'd have been 21 and been able to buy it at the dispensary. No medical bullshit, no nothing. That was just a few years ago. They kept that way out of the news because they did not want the momentum of all 50 states saying, F you, we're going to do this, your attorney general can go screw himself, you can't take us all on, blah, blah, blah. And it's not that I'm saying I'm for or against it, it's just, that's a person's personal choice. That's just one of a million different deals, that they just flat keep hidden from everybody.
Talking about weed, why'd you hand him the mic? Why did you do that? I suppose if you're gonna pause and let me talk politics and religion, we should all just pause and let Twinkie talk about that.
You wrote a song about that once, didn't you?
No, I was gonna say that it's just like taxing free enterprise. Once before they get their greedy hands all over it, free enterprise can actually pull us out of a national deficit. until
Absolutely.
they get their greedy hands on it, and then it puts us right back in. That's
Absolutely.
what I was going to say.
Do you
And
know-
cash crops has been the since way back in history, it's been one of the things that drives this country. And it wasn't until politics stepped in and sanctioned all this crap that it turned.
And it actually became
That's all
illegal
I was
because
gonna
they invented a combine to harvest the
Thank you.
stuff, and you could get 3 crops a year out of it. And the people that was in the big foresters at the time, they were going to get put out of business. And ironically, something you said earlier, there was a Queen of England, and I'm trying to remember, it was 1880, 1890, she said this: if we don't do something about them damn Americans, and them stealing all our entrepreneurs, they're going to run the whole world real quick. Because we had no rules back in 1880, 1890, and every entrepreneur from Europe that would invent something, create something, build something, would get stole by a king, they just come over here.
Well, that's the only thing that
That's why we were so great for so long.
That's the only thing they haven't changed yet, is you still can't tax free enterprise, and once they change that, we're all screwed.
Yeah.
That's the way our founders understood that something like an income tax is what's so oppressive. It allows them to control, and also prevents people from being able to really reach their full potential. It should be like a consumption tax, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
Like a fair
Just a
tax.
flat consumption tax. We have one of the highest income taxes for any group of people in the world here. Not just for the rich and not just for the middle class, but for everybody. And by the time you look at the sales tax and the property tax and everything else, we're taxed considerably more than most European countries.
I had a discussion here a while back with a Norwegian guy. Norway's a very socialist country, and one of his things he thought that we did a lot of things wrong because he thought we should be more socialist, and yet he thought we spent too much. Our government spending was too high. Yeah. Now,
It's true.
I don't know how
One without the
that was true, but I'm not sure to be socialist we'd have to spend even. I mean, we're already socialist.
Well, it's like I was going to say earlier, and it kind of ties back into the whole marijuana legalization thing, is if we completely got rid of lobbies, no lobbying at all, no pork at all, everything that you try and pass needs to be transparent so that we can all know what you're trying to pass. And if you individually would benefit from any bill, you're not allowed to vote on it.
Right.
And the first lobby pretty much was when the foresters and people that owned cotton plantations got together and decided to make marijuana illegal because you can use it as a fabric, you can use it as paper, you can use it as rope, and it was just...
And them damn jazz musicians were smoking it and
Damn jazz musicians.
That's exactly.
Let's blame the jazz
Congress
musicians.
there was some congressmen that got up and...
Thank God
argued
VOS
that
isn't
before
jazz
Congress.
musicians.
That's how they got it passed, because there was not very many people signing on to this, because they seen the scam, and then they use it on them damn black jazz musicians in New Orleans getting high on that crap and raping white girls, and they got it passed.
Wow.
Well, and that
That's what
goes
it's all
to show
about.
you
Though.
about
You can take one bad thing that happens, and then they'll.
Here we go.
And the whole
That's
thing
all
about the
anybody
jazz
gets to see.
musicians was a lie. They just made it up because, it was still a segregated country. They just lied their ass off on that.
That's why I went through this, because
Yeah.
it was before
They
the...
victimized poor black guys over the deal.
Yeah, but all you got to do is tell the public one thing, and that's all they're
Oh,
going to
yeah,
see.
Because in
Come on,
all
man.
actual reality, all those black jazz musicians were strung out on heroin. That's what they were on. They were strung out on heroin.
Heroin.
They weren't smoking pot.
What's
anyway,
scary
maybe
that was the 1920s when they pulled that scam. Bush gets elected in 2000 and does the same thing on a different issue with the, we're going to get you scared of all the Muslims in the whole wide world. We're going to pass these Patriot Acts, and you cocksuckers got no rights. And he did it.
They'll throw you straight in jail. They'll say
And he
you're a terrorist.
did it, yeah.
No trial, no nothing. You're a terrorist, you go straight to jail.
Well, it's like I've never actually partaken myself in the weed, but I would imagine that the problem with those scare tactics is they just misspelled the word napping to raping, because I don't know anybody that smokes weed and is like, I need to rape.
Yeah, I've never known of anybody.
They smoke weed and they're like, I need a Star Crunch and a Mountain Dew. And so yeah, some Funyuns,
They had the head of the California Drug Task Force on there saying since
I
they
need to
legalized
break.
medical marijuana, it slowed crime down. He said
That is
He
awesome,
said what
yeah.
it done is created more crime because now they're robbing dispensaries.
Yeah.
So I took his argument and I said this: okay, let's close all convenience stores because people rob them and clerks get killed.
Yep.
Let's get rid of cars because by God you get killed in car wrecks. And oh by the way, last year so and so this many cops killed people by accident, so let's outlaw cops. You know, and when you look at that guy's argument, it just went right down the tubes, you know. Our country's definitely messed up, and we're definitely tripping and getting ready to fall from greatness in a real fast fashion. And had it not been for, like Sean said, about the open free enterprise and us luring every smart individual around the world over.
Every smart fuck. That's great.
What's funny about the free enterprise thing that I was saying is that now in the music industry things are a lot different too. You know, YouTube defines our music reality, and what I think is awesome, and you know, everybody knows this song. A lot of people are tired of this song, but that thrift shop song. It went from just some guy putting it on YouTube, and it was #1 in the world, and he was still an independent artist and not signed to a label. I think that is awesome.
How long ago did Tesla show up here? About 100 years ago, 120 years ago? And, you know, he was a Russian, and Westinghouse actually brought him
I was
over here.
thinking the band.
Yeah, because they were at the state fair, like, I don't know, 4 years ago, maybe.
This guy was so great, the band named themselves after him.
And they told him that the alternating current was too
dangerous,
unstable
the whole
and
nine
dangerous.
yards. And Westinghouse actually brought him over here because he worked for him. And then Westinghouse deemed him a danger because this guy was smart enough to, you know.
No, it was Edison.
Edison, that's
I
what
believe,
Edison
and I
was,
do believe it was Denver, Colorado, is where he set up. Was where
Colorado Springs.
That he first set up, and he had the entire town wired, and you could stick a light bulb in the ground in the snow, and it would light up. And it was because of something to do. I don't really understand electricity, all that.
Yeah, he was definitely way ahead of his time, and I'm sure they made his life real uncomfortable because I read he dug ditches for 5 years after Edison fired him. You know, because he was an immigrant. He had no family or friends over here.
Well, and Consumer Reports just recently said that the car, the Tesla, is like a 99% positive rating, and basically just putting over the fact that it's a great car. So you got all these things going on. But Tom, what has been the most offensive thing that you've posted on Facebook that people have just, like, as far as political opinions, have just been like, oh my God, I can't believe you posted that?
I don't know. I mean, I know that spending is an issue with this country, but part of the problem with me, I guess, is I have lost enough faith in humanity as general that I think that it wouldn't hurt us to become a little bit more socialist. But we have to find better ways to regulate our stuff because there are a lot of Americans that are just wastes of space, and
we're validating their existence.
I could,
like this guy over here on the end of the couch is lucky he can play bass.
Hey, he's a heartbreaker, so.
True. Yeah, but I don't think it's a viable skill.
I do agree. Like, what is it? SRS turned into Can Care now. Well, now Can Care is allowing people to, you know, sit on welfare and whatnot,
just
hang
out
for whatever.
Yeah.
And those of us that work and pay child support, you know, scrape by to barely survive.
Jiggy and I know.
Speaking of people who work and pay child support, where is Dutch? Where is Dutch? Where is Chris?
Where is it? Work particularly
the way you were making it sound Friday night, I expected us to come in here and there'd be like tons of people.
I know.
And you were making it sound like there'd be a bunch of chicks holding up signs like in a WWE event for Jeff, and I was like. We get in here and it's just you three.
Hey, I'll tell you that there is these, like I was saying Friday night, we were down there at Lizard's Lounge. I still think we need to get these two women who obsess about Jeff together and like have a fight. And film it.
That can be the co-headliner for the you and Lamb fight.
That would be. Steve had an entire fight card put together a couple weeks ago. It was me and Thomas. We were gonna do cousin Chris.
Midget tossing to get the crowd energized. Midget tossing. Then Mick started getting death threats over that deal.
I think so.
Then we were going to have...
The reason we got away with it was because Mike technically was not classified as a midget.
Then we were going to have, Mick Grimm was going to get involved somehow.
Yeah, he was orchestrating the midget tossing.
Oh, okay. Then we were going to have Lance Chafe and the Midwest Mangler from Wichita was going to be involved. He was going to fight Jeremy Jeeves, the
battle of the 6'7" giants.
That one guy. And then we were going to have I was going to fight Thomas. Let's see.
We had
What else?
Dark
we had a whole.
lumberjack match with Schroeder and Burka.
We were going to have Alan Burka, AB, against Cousin Chris.
The long arm of the law versus the mouth of the South.
And it's just this gigantic show, and we can
like at its core, I was thinking Jiggy and Tom Lamb in the cell would be awesome. But then I was like, neither one of you dudes is climbing the cell.
no, that ain't happening.
Entertaining as you
No,
can.
that's not happening. I'm not going to be able to climb up the hell in the cell.
In a cage match with cattle prods.
There you go.
That would be awesome.
But no, we
I challenged him to a boxing buddy one time when they were still doing boxing buddy.
I would.
I think
Boxing buddy with you,
I think that would be awesome. I never got a knockout in boxing buddy, and I was complaining about that the other night to Rob, and I think it's because the gloves were always so damn big. I don't know.
You know what he was
that had
talking
to be it.
about SRS changing to CAN and scamming the system? Jiggy and I
I mean,
know,
do you know all the information about that?
Jiggy and I know a guy that gets a check every month. You know what this guy does all day long? He plays video games.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, is he
You know how pissed off I am
Is he a
about
game
this?
No.
No, he's
a game tester.
He plays online
He's
for
a game
tournaments and
junkie,
stuff?
yeah. He got kicked out of the Army on purpose. He got fired from McDonald's, and he went and filed for mental disability. And they give it to the guy.
What definition of mental disability?
I
does
don't
he
know, but he
have?
got $900 a month to go play video games now, and it pisses me off.
I do that for free.
That sounds like the title of Michael's book, Spare Time. He's got a lot of spare time on his hands.
Well, as far as the universe and karma are concerned, you pretty much earned your keep now,
Yeah,
and you're
true.
set for a little while. So
I'll say I deserve a little bit of a break now.
Now, are you ever going to get him to do that amputee thing we were talking about?
probably not.
Probably never. You two will never have the money.
You don't know that.
I don't know.
Their price, and I know that
I don't
they
know.
can't get
Tom
my
can
price.
talk the talk, and I got a video
Unfortunately-
camera, so if we find an investor, this might happen.
And you probably could get it through Steve. You could probably get it distributed through Miramax because he's got connections over there. Get an entire documentary
I have
put
a theory
together.
that the only reason Jeff's still in the band is because in a land where like Twinkie and I have enough money to be able to convince him to do that, he's getting an equal cut also. He'll be like, no thanks.
Now, how does Colton figure into this?
He doesn't. He's spending his cut on other cool things that don't involve.
More guitars.
Yeah.
How about picking up a few firearms on the
There
way?
you go.
Right?
I'll say guitars and guns, not trying to get me to do amputees.
What do you guys make of that with the firearms and everybody freaking out about how the guns all might get taken away?
I'm pretty sure that Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that probably 80% of the population that own guns, they will never take their guns away.
What do you think about the fact that Kansas is passing a law that says the federal government's law is BS and they are not going to be able to enforce it? Because if they do, it's illegal to enforce it in our state. And then the U.S. Attorney General saying that law is illegal. I'm liking it because you get all these idiots that are about the law fight with each other, then they leave the common people alone. I mean,
Right.
that's
That's
my
why I
whole
like
deal on
Kansas
that.
right now.
Missouri just did a
Missouri
deal,
just passed one too, yeah.
but it's even stronger. They nullified the 1934, the 1964 gun acts.
It's
So-
going to get to the point where we're going to have states attempting to secede from the union.
Texas
like
is
Civil
threatening that
War.
right now.
So, yeah.
I kind of, whenever after Sandy Hook first happened, I kind of took that whole stance where I was like, okay, people are stupid. Stop treating guns
Yeah.
like they're toys.
Yeah.
You can kill people easily.
You can
But-
kill people. Look at the Boston. You can kill people with
Right.
fertilizer.
But it's kind of like, I've gotten
Yeah.
to the point now where I've kind of stepped back a little bit, and it's like I do understand that we have a right to bear arms, but I think there should be universal background checks, and the fact that the NRA is trying to say no, them wanting to know that you have a gun means that they're just going to show up in Black Hawk helicopters and kick your door down and take all your guns.
Well, actually,
just stop a scare tactic.
Well,
Yeah.
well, actually, though, the government did, and the Homeland Security did pick up enough ammo that if we could fight a 30-year war with the ammo that they picked up.
Yeah.
But,
Why would they do that?
Just means more we can steal later when shit hits the fan.
right.
Very true.
Cover that their neighbor had.
Whether it'll happen or not, they're planning something.
I agree with you, yeah.
Well,
but,
and that may not be directed at its own citizens either. I mean,
No,
the
but I'm just
world is
saying-
going to crap in general.
They're,
What
they're
they do-
planning to do something, and I'd prefer to have my gun and my ammo when
Right.
it happens.
What
We're-
they do
we're
is
getting
lots of
pretty-
times I think they also set up these these scenarios and these situations and everything. They want a crisis. They want certain things. They want certain things to happen in a certain way. And it's like, while we're doing this, they're doing this over here, you know. And like I say, the background check's not a big deal, but part of what that was also they wanted everything. They wanted a track.
Database.
There's going to be a database and a tracking. Well, what do you need that for?
Right.
You know, and so that's why the NRA said no.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and I agree.
They said they're working on one now that it doesn't have a registry, so you won't have to worry about that part of it. Like, we're still trying. There's still a middle ground that can be reached because my problem where I draw the line is the fact that if I buy his truck from him, we both have to. I mean, everything is documented. But if I go to a gun show, I mean, I could buy an AR-15 in 70 seconds.
You don't have a constitutional right to have a car.
Okay. Fair enough. No, also, my argument about, you know, like the government stockpiling ammo and these people that say we need our arms and we're supposed to have our right to bear arms so we can fight a tyrannical government and blah, blah. Good luck.
I wasn't
good luck, because I appreciate, and it's not you, it's other people that have gotten on to me on Facebook. It's like, I appreciate that you want to have, you know, an assault rifle, but if you decide that you're going to fight the government, your house will just get blown up and you'll never know what happened.
Well, if you want to look at it that way, look how well it's gone in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, the bottom line is, if it gets to that point, there'll be people hiding and doing stuff like that, and they'll never ever
stop them all.
Yeah,
never.
That's true.
One thing about guns, I look at it like this, and I own more than a few guns, and I feel sorry for what happened to people
I sold
in
all,
Sandy
for the
Hook.
record, I sold all mine.
Did you?
Yeah.
And I truly feel sorry for the people at Sandy Hook and in Columbine and the Colorado Theater. But had I been in any of them scenarios, there would have been a gunfight.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much a drop dead shot. I would have killed the guy.
Right.
You know. And I wouldn't have batted an eye about it. I would have been able to go to sleep that night with no problems. It's the kind of person I am. But you know, I've been to Mexico, and guess what? Guns have always been illegal down there. And you know who has them? It's a fucking organized crime, and people die left and right. And the cops arrest the people down there, or did for years. The honest mom and pops that had a pistol trying to defend themselves.
Hey, look at that.
They were the idiots that got thrown in jail forever.
We've got a phone call.
I bet Larry.
No, it's Ron Jackson. He's calling on the wrong number though. Hey Ron, what's going on, my friend?
Oh, not much.
Hey, you're calling on the wrong line. Do you have the phone line to call in, the 661 number?
We wrote that down.
Okay, it's 661
Yep.
349 8255.
Stop on the back.
Okay, I'll call you, or you call me, or somebody calls me, or something. Well, we're waiting on Ron to call me on the skip, as Chris Matthews calls it. I don't know why he calls it the skip. But I noticed that Tom has a Wake the Dead shirt on. I like the fact that you have a Wake the Dead shirt on. Is what is the official? Have you guys put out official word as to what you're doing with Wake the Dead this year?
We got Dr. McGillicuddy's out here.
Or is that
Wake the Dead probably isn't happening this year. There have been talks about other possible things in October, and there have been talks about something I may be working on for like an end of summer thing.
That's cool.
But Wake the Dead not only, I mean, it's kind of ran its course in my opinion. We live in that place where either you can drop a whole bunch of money and get an actual big national headliner, or don't, or all local. Yeah, because last year there were too many headliners that got paid and nobody got any money afterwards. And it's, part of the problem too is you've got all these locals, and I mean, no disrespect to any of them.
Yeah.
You get these bands that play the festival 2 years and then they just assume they should be on the next one, which made it difficult to get new bands in each time.
Yeah.
And then also you get to the point where people feel like we've played it a couple of times, so we should get the primetime slot now.
Yeah.
So now you've got 35 bands that want to be on a festival that I can fit 13 on, and you've got 20 of those bands that all feel like they should play at 8 or 9
Or
o'clock.
you got a band that calls like the week before and says, "Hey, we want to play."
Right.
He's calling back. Hey Ron.
Read that phone number again. I don't have it right.
It is 661
Yep.
349
349. Okay.
8255.
I got it. Okay, thank you.
All right, brother. I love it. At least he's not a drunk black mixtape guy, rapper, whatever you want to call
Word.
him. I don't. Word. Look at that. Now, I see. I thought. Wait, I like Sean when he said the comment about me potentially being involved with Wake the Dead, and the comment that was told to you.
Okay.
What was about how
I'm I like when he said I should be involved.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the conversation.
The conversation that we had at Third Thursday.
I can't say that.
Damn it. About how
And
I'm a scumbag and all these things.
Myself from that shit, so I don't have to deal with
those shenanigans, as they say.
Yeah. No, I've kind of, and I was going to post the other day that, you know, if I have to choose team posts random stuff on Facebook to upset people, or team tries to make themselves feel better by all the people they hang out with, I'm going to choose team actually gets something done in the local scene. Like, I don't
okay, well, I don't know who those people are. No. I don't know who those people are. No.
It's us.
Oh, yeah.
I choose team myself.
I choose team myself.
Sometimes I choose team myself 4 to 5 times a day.
What was that? He called and then he hung up. What the hell, Bobby? Okay, I will call him back. And we will put him on the... Maybe there he is. I don't know. There he is. I'll call him back.
Hey, I was trying to call you.
There he is. Ron, how are you?
Oh, good.
We've got Ron Jackson joining us here on the big broadcast. We also have Victims of Spotlight in studio. We also have the best-selling, award-winning author Michael Murphy with us. Did I pump you up enough there, my friend?
That's just fine.
And the professor has disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. But we've got Ron Jackson with us on the line. Ron, how are you doing on this fine afternoon?
Oh, very good. It's a nice day here in Brooklyn, New York.
Now, talk to me about your background in music.
Well, I started playing guitar when I was about 9, playing rock, and I got into jazz when I went to, when I was in high school, and then when I went to school in Boston at Berklee College of Music.
Now, you went to the Berklee College of Music. How the heck did you get a scholarship to this thing? How did this happen for you?
Yeah, I got a little scholarship, and then I was a composition major there, jazz composition major, and then I got to jazz really there, you know.
You know what's funny is we were talking about jazz musicians earlier, but we won't touch on that again. We won't touch on that again.
Uh-oh. That was good.
Well, it was an interesting conversation.
Okay.
So doing music and everything. What has been some of your more interesting musical successes?
There's so many I've done. I mean, I've enjoyed traveling to Europe. Recording here in New York, doing a little bit of everything. You know, getting to play with some great musicians out here. It's always ongoing, you know. So, and next week I'm getting a chance to play the Blue Note again, so I'm happy about that.
We've got Ron Jackson with us today here on the big broadcast, and he is calling us via Skype, but he is calling us via Skype audio. He is not on Skype video, and we've got Victims of Spotlight in studio, and they are a local mega force as far as heavy metal music and all these things. And what would you guys be considered? Melodic, hard rock. What was that earlier that you said?
Yeah, that works. Melodic hard rock.
Melodic hard rock.
Way less metal than we used to be.
Now, do you guys have anything for Ron Jackson, the jazz musician that we have on the line? Do you guys have any questions for him? You guys have anything for
I
him?
love heavy metal, actually.
You do the more different
Yeah, I do.
music, you do.
I like everything.
He's speechless.
No, I'm just trying to think of a question to ask.
Michael, you got anything for Ron?
Who's the coolest person
Okay.
you've ever jammed with? Because I mean, I'm assuming most jazz musicians, you guys play with a lot of different groups, more improv stuff, right?
Yeah, you guys play.
Sure.
So who's probably the coolest person you've ever had the opportunity to jam with?
I guess it might have been Les Paul.
Really?
Whoa. Here in New York.
That's awesome.
Everybody loves Les Paul of all genres, which is interesting. Even though he was a jazz guitar player, all the rock guys love his guitar. You know. So
how did you?
He's a cool guy.
How did you come about jamming with Les Paul? That's pretty amazing.
Well, you know, it's funny. My ex-wife was playing with him for a long time, till he died, actually. You know, here in New York. So that's how I met him. You know, and actually, we used to go hang out and just sit in, and she got the gig with him, and it was cool. He was a really cool guy, you know, and everybody used to come see him. Everybody from all genres, you know. Eddie Van Halen would show up, or Slash, or all these cats would just show up to the gig, or just want to play with him, you know, because they all use his guitar, you know. So another cool guy I really liked playing with was hanging out with George Benson. He's another great guy, you know.
That's cool.
Hello?
That's cool. George Benson, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a great, you know, he's great. There's so many good musicians everywhere, so I like all genres too. I started off as a rock guitar player, actually.
Oh, really?
You know? I went to see a lot of concerts when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and all kinds of concerts, you know.
What were some
back in the day.
What was some of the some of the more memorable concerts you went to see when you were first starting out doing music and all these things?
I saw. You mean the group? I saw Yes, Rush.
Geddy Lee.
I saw Van Halen about 7. Huh? Yeah, he was great. I saw Van Halen like 7 times.
How was Yes?
I saw Richie Blackmore a bunch of times.
Yeah, how was
all
I
kinds
saw
of
Yes when I was in college. Pretty good.
how was Yes in concert?
They were great, man. They had this round revolving stage at that time. You know, and it was cool. It was one of the first concerts I ever saw. My father took me.
That's probably my favorite bass line ever in round.
I saw all kinds of people. I saw Miles Davis when I was a kid, actually.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Miles Davis.
Oh, yeah, the Clash. I saw the Clash. I saw the Ramones.
Oh, awesome.
All kinds of people. I know. I mean, really, all kinds of people. It was just wild. You know? It was great. So, I mean, I like all kinds of music, so I would go see anybody, you know?
Last Ramones show I ever saw was when they picked him for the Grammys that one year, and they did a medley of all the nominations.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, probably 6-7 months before he died.
Wow. Now, Michael, do you have anything for Ron while we got him on here?
I know. I was sitting there. He's talking about all that stuff and kind of reminiscing back in college and back in the days when all the concerts is pretty cool.
Now, Ron, we're gonna play some of your tunes here in a few. Talk to me about "Get in the Country."
That could mean a bunch of different things.
Okay.
It could mean if you're trying to get in the U.S., it could mean that, or if you're trying to get in the country, like the country feel.
Yeah.
Or the blues, that can mean that. It just has a few different names. I mean, the guy who produced my last CD, he was an acid jazz pioneer.
Yeah.
And soul funk pioneer, soul jazz pioneer. His name was Melvin Sparks. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He just died a couple of years ago. He was my mentor. So it was kind of dedicated. This record was kind of dedicated to him. And this record. I'm playing at the Blue Note this coming Saturday next week.
Yep.
And we're playing tunes off that record that you're going to be playing right now.
Well, that's
So
cool.
it's like a Hammond organ, funky kind of jazzy soul kind of record, you know.
Well, that's cool.
So that song's basically a blues.
Well, we're gonna play that track, and I appreciate you joining us here, my friend. I know that you're terribly busy, so I'll let you get back to it. But thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, James.
Definitely, man. And Ron, how do we find you on the internet?
It's ronjacksonmusic.com. Check it out.
Good stuff, my friend. Well, thanks for doing this, and we will definitely talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
Have a
man.
great day.
Thanks, man. Ron Jackson, we're going to play his track right now. We're going to take a quick little time out here, and when we come back, we will wrap it up with Victims of Spotlight so they can get to band practice. And we'll do that when we get back here on the big broadcast.
We don't want any trouble. But if you're going to start trouble, call us. 1-866-763-1422.
Hey.
You can hear the Jiggy Jaguar radio show while on the go with Stitcher Smart Radio. Stitcher is a free news and talk mobile app available for your smartphone. And when you download Stitcher to hear the Jiggy Jaguar radio show, you have a chance to win some money. Downloading is quick and easy. Just find Stitcher in the App Store. Download it. It's free and it just takes a few seconds. Then during registration, hit the promo code box and enter Jiggy Jaguar. That's Jiggy Jaguar to get automatically entered to win $100. The latest episode of the show will be waiting for you in your favorites. You'll get access to lots of other amazing shows, too. Always available to you on demand. No syncing. It's Stitcher Smart Radio. Don't forget to enter the promo code Jiggy Jaguar, Jiggy Jaguar when you register.
Hey, I'm not a lumberjack or a fur trader, and I don't live in an igloo or eat blubber or own a dog sled, and I don't know Jimmy, Sally, or Susie from Canada, although I'm certain they're really, really nice. I have a prime minister, not a president. I speak English and French, not American, and I pronounce it about, not a boot. I can proudly sew my country's flag on my backpack. I believe in peacekeeping, not policing. Diversity, not assimilation. And that the beaver is a truly proud and noble animal. A toot is a hat. A Chesterfield is a coach. And it is pronounced said, not Z. Canada is the second largest landmass, the first nation in hockey, and the best part of North America. My name is Joe, and I am Canadian. Thank you.
Coming to your town soon. It's the biggest show to ever hit America, and you won't want to miss it. The Clinton Apology Tour.
I misled people. I deeply regret that.
The Clinton Apology Tour. See Bill attempt to save his political career.
It is important to me that everybody who has been hurt know that the sorrow I feel is genuine.
See Bill in the biggest acting role of his life.
I have asked all for their forgiveness.
See Bill almost but not quite say he's sorry.
Indeed, I did have a relationship with Miss Lewinsky that was not appropriate.
The Clinton Apology Tour. With a special surprise introduction by Hillary Clinton.
And I'm proud to introduce my husband and our president, Bill Clinton.
The Clinton Apology Tour. The Clinton Apology Tour. Don't miss it.
Today's show was brought to you by M&M's. They melt in your mouth, and they'll melt in your butt if you put them in there, too. And by Metamucil. Dump with confidence. And by Tampax. They're better than using a pillow.
Dun-dun-dun. We are back here on the big broadcast. Ron Jackson with Technophile off of his CD Flubby Dubby. I love that. Flubby Dubby. I need to come up with a. I need to start a rap career and. No,
don't bother.
Look at that! That's awesome! Don't bother.
You just crushed his dreams.
Wow! Michael's like an elbow from the sky. Bam!
I'm saving you for the big crash later.
Mike, he's wearing a blue Hawaiian shirt and a yellow Hawaiian tie. He doesn't have too many dreams left.
That's true.
Hey, leave his Hunter S. Thompson style alone, okay?
Didn't you go as Hunter S. Thompson one year for Halloween?
Yeah, you interviewed us.
Yes.
And you were nowhere near dressed like Hunter S. Thompson that time, which I was kind of surprised.
I wasn't dressed up at all.
Whatever happened to... How come they didn't do that last year at Horrorwood with all the bands?
He burned every bridge in town in the end.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Am I wrong?
Okay.
Okay.
No, because the first year it was supposed to happen, I thought it was going to be like, okay, we'll do the concert in conjunction with Horrorwood that night.
Yeah.
And then there will be 3 ticket options where you can get both options, or you can go to just Horrorwood or just the concert.
Yeah.
The way he structured it is you can do both, or you can do just Horrorwood. So there were people that were there to see the bands play that didn't want to pay the extra $10 to go through the haunted house.
Yeah.
But sorry. Well, okay, well I don't have $20, so bye. And so
I don't have $20, so bye.
He got his $10 from the Horrorwood ones and his $10 from the both tickets.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the night, I think the 4 bands we had there got to split like $50-$60.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And yeah, just the way that he structured everything just wasn't done well. So the next year, like we personally weren't
Just
interested in it.
done. Yeah.
We kind of burned Wicked Ways that night. It didn't sound for them out there too.
Oh yeah.
Well, as we all know about Wicked Ways.
No, I mean, they honestly,
or Wicked Way.
To be completely honest, those guys were, honestly, they were professionals and they weren't.
Oh yeah, those guys are fabulous.
They were cool. They told me what they needed. What pissed me off is when
Devil Boy was just kind of crazy. But go ahead.
When at the end of the night, what's his name from Horrorwood?
Outback Jack.
Yeah. When he handed me $30 after I had been standing out there for 4 hours in the cold, I wanted to break his nose. I just took my stuff and left.
There's a way that you do things where it's like, if you let them know up front, hey, may not be able to pay the time, may not give you much, whatever, that's fine. But then when somebody does something like that out in the extreme heat or extreme cold and sacrifices their own equipment for an outdoor show, and you hand them very, very, very little money, without a heads up, it's an insult. And it's bad business practice. And
or if you're like Johnny Kim, I don't know. I haven't made a Johnny Kim reference today. Oh, but you would talk a smack on me on the Facebook. But now, Professor, what do you make of? We were talking a little bit there about bands and people getting screwed over and things. You've managed bands. You've also you did that big thing in Springfield or whatever it was. The
St. Louis, yeah.
St. Louis. If somebody were to come up to you in the extreme heat or extreme cold and you were a musician and said, hey, here's $30, when they had promised you more or you should have been entitled to more, is that basically an insult? Because Twinkie was just sharing his experience from Horrorwood.
An insult. But I would grab the 30 and tell him, you owe me the rest, pal. Make payments.
You owe me the rest,
and
pal.
Speaking
Trying
of
to make some
screwed
payments.
over, what about that poor, what's his name, Johnny Kim up there in St. Louis?
Oh my God!
He had to deal with a guy named James Lowe, a.k.a. Jiggy Jaguar. Now, I can't speak Chinese or Mandarin or any of that.
Mandarin.
But my God, that poor guy probably should have sued Jiggy over the heart attacks, the high blood pressure, and everything else he got because of the way that sly cat, the Jaguar, dealt with him. He talked a smack!
Wow!
Leave here!
I don't think sly is the correct term.
Yeah.
He's like that roaring lion out in front of him, isn't he?
as the business representative from VOS, we have no say on the subject of Johnny Kim or the illustrious Muse Ballroom. So you guys go on your rant, but you detach us from this.
He's always been cool to us.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been cool to us.
I like Johnny Kim. Don't get me wrong. I don't know him real well, but I like the guy. It just, his style and Jiggy's style just kind of clash like
My style and everyone else's style clashes.
Once again, look at Jiggy. Jiggy's style and Jiggy's style clash.
His mom told him that same thing yesterday when he was putting his clothes on to go out for Mother's Day dinner. She said the shirt don't match the shorts. They clash. He said, well, that's what I'm all about. I clash all the time. He said, I clash with myself.
Go big or go home, I guess.
I guess there's no arguments in the room.
As long as you don't die by choking yourself, I think you're
There
all
you
right.
go.
That's a way to commit to it, I guess.
I love that. I found my niche. Well, thank you. Now, I got tore into the other night because I just showed up unannounced and did interviews at the Lizards Lounge. Yeah. Chris Swank also got yelled at, but I knew he was going to get yelled at, so that's why I sent him in first. Sam to take the bullet.
Who yelled at you?
Kenny.
Oh,
yeah.
The beard that demands respect.
Kenny did not appreciate it. He's like, "You're not going to come out here and interview bands on my dime." And I'm like, this was a last-minute deal.
Yeah.
I was in town because someone thinks that it's a good idea to make me a television executive.
I told Jiggy it's all right for him to hang out with me until they start shooting out my car, cutting my tires, or any of the other stuff that might go along.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I'd hire someone to do that.
No, I'm not talking about
Or I'd have
about
like Felicia Garcia or somebody come do it. She'd do it. She's loyal. She'd do it. Felicia would, or Dave. Someone would show. Cousin Chris. Somebody would do that. I wouldn't have to do it. I would just have a staff member do it.
Did you guys meet him at the reformatory or no?
It's actually outside the Blue Goat. It's Salina.
The Blue Goat. That's right. Gotta love the Blue Goat.
Has Jiggy ever told you his story about Salina and why he's in Hutchinson?
I think
they finally kicked him out.
You're right.
Salina got together with pitchforks and torches. And now we're in Hutchinson.
He was politely
Now I'm in
out of the
Hutchinson.
city limits.
That's
a much better place.
The original plan was when we did Jiggy Jag TV, I was gonna have the mayor like throw us over the county line or the city line at the end of the show, and it never happened. And then literally they basically did the pitchfork thing and ran me out of town. So no, that's all Marcia's fault. I can blame Marcia and Access TV for that.
No. It's about tagging somebody in a video named Hollywood Ed.
Hollywood Ed Baldwin.
That's why you're in Hutchinson, Kansas.
We
Don't
love
forget
Hollywood
that.
Ed Baldwin.
He did not appreciate being tagged to rappers.
Really? Well, I know that, but I'm getting all these random texts from people. Don't they know I'm on the air? But it's just the way it is.
That's
well,
why Jiggy has at least 2 or 3 gun owners on every show with him. It's protected.
Just in case.
Just in case. That's right.
Don't piss off Kenny, otherwise you're gonna need more.
I might get assassinated. I might get assassinated. I've always said that. That's why I'm always looking out the window, because I might get assassinated. I don't know why.
Because Kenny's a friend of mine, and I'm glad he's a friend of mine.
See, my whole thing is as we all know,
Kenny's a friend of his.
and Steve can attest to this, and Voss can attest to this, and Michael knows that Michael doesn't know this, but this will be interesting for him to learn. I don't like drama. I run from drama.
I also lie. Like the rug.
If drama is over here, I'm
Are
running the
you
other
by
way.
the end of the year to be able to say that without somebody laughing, or is this what we're
What did you say? What did you say Friday night?
drama-free radio?
Drama-free radio. That's right.
That was a drama. Yes.
I don't like drama. I don't like the rapper or the situation.
He is trying to catch Howard Stern's record of the most conflicts.
Oh, that's...
He's still behind him because of the age gap between the two gentlemen. But he's making a good run.
Gentleman who walked in behind me. Oh. But, So Victims of Spotlight next weekend at the Rusty Needle. It kicks off at what, 8 p.m., 9 p.m.?
It'll start right around 9.
They were saying something about that about wanting to, didn't know if they wanted to start at 8 or 9 now. So
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
The flyer that I made says 9. But, I mean, since it's a one-man act that will already have Fizzgig stuff set up behind him anyway, I mean, there's no need to start it incredibly early. So.
Get there at 8, drink some beer.
Yeah, get there at 8, drink a little bit, hang out with VOS and Fizzgig, and Tim the Boy Wonder, and
you guys gonna have a lot of groupies there?
I don't know. Hopefully.
Well, I know there'll be at least one. Her name's Jennifer, and there'll be another one, but
Jeff
I don't
will
want
have
to.
quite a few groupies there.
Oh, Jeff's like the Shawn Michaels of your group.
I keep hearing that. Again, I don't have the money here for that.
Just wait till me and Colton make the HBK stage intro for VOS. And you can come out and shake it before we play.
I'm not getting one of those little gay vests.
No, as long as you get the pants with the hearts cut out of them, we'll be set.
Those
You
are
can
wearing
skip-
chaps.
Yeah, you can zip line in.
Give him the chaps.
Because that's going to work out well for the one-legged guy.
Yeah.
They have to be assless chaps if you get chaps.
He sits down anyway, it won't matter.
He could
It's
zip.
not like
That
if
would
you
be
were to
great
wear
if he
assless
zip
chaps.
lined in.
Should be funny.
That's
Any of the
awesome. If he
bars
could
we go
zip
to
line.
Are not safe for me to wear assless chaps.
No.
There will be bikers that will do
And
that.
I was going to say, oddly enough, it's not because of those two people. It's because of just other random...
Yeah, you wouldn't want to wear ashless chaps out there at Vic's. That
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he might be safe because he's not the right color at Vic's.
Well, and it's not like
But that's
he's going to
fine.
get up and go get his own drink. He can be like, make salad for somebody, and somebody else has to go get his drink anyway, so...
Now, that was something I wanted, in all seriousness, wanted to ask Jeff about. Were you shocked at all the outpouring after you had your accident of like everybody and their brother being concerned? Because I know if I would have had that situation, that'd have been like,
Didn't kill it? Damn! What hospital's he at?
They can still talk?
Try harder next time. I was surprised only because most of those people I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like within the time that I was in the hospital, which I think I was there for like 5 days, I ended up with like 300 friend requests on Facebook. 90% of them I had no idea who they were. They were like friends of friends. I just found out who one of them was yesterday.
Wow.
It was surprising to see that many people, most of which have deleted me by now because now they know who I am.
Oh, it's that one-legged guy from that band. Screw him.
I lost it.
It's
Blow
like,
on the go or
what?
whatever your delivery
It's
service is.
blowy on the goey.
Okay, blowy on the go.
It still hasn't gotten off the ground.
Oh.
You're not in business with that taxi cab driver around here that has that doorway delivery dope business now. Now, when it said blow on the go deal, I was, you know.
Are you talking about Coach Hill?
What's the name of that cab guy, Jiggy?
Coach Hill?
I don't know. He's got a cab around here somewhere.
He's got it.
It's
Delivery service. Yes, it's it's.
That's actually why Jeff had to call his blowy on the go, is because blow on the go was apparently taken already.
Well, so what was the situation with all that? I'm assuming they caught the dude. That
I think he turned himself in either the next day or the day after. I'll say it happened last Mother's Day.
Well, yeah.
So here we are celebrating.
That's good. Yeah, here we are celebrating.
He turned himself in, but nothing quite criminal has happened about it yet.
Yeah.
Every time I get a subpoena, like 2 weeks later, I get a call saying that they got a continuance. So.
Oh wow.
It's supposed to be in court May 21st, but probably going to get another continuance.
Were you in an automobile when this happened, or?
I was 2 feet in a heartbeat across the street.
You kicking rocks?
Yeah, I don't drive ever.
So this guy just plowed into you with his car and drove off?
Motorcycle.
It was a group of motorcycles.
Mm-hmm. And just pieced up. Yeah, I've heard all kinds of fun rumors about why that was. Hutch News is a great place to.
Oh my god.
Just to see the comments on that article, man.
There were at least 2 people that were friends with him that were blaming me for getting hit.
Oh, just being out in the middle of the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't have just been out there. I'm sorry I crossed the street. I'll do better next time.
No, I understand. I had a car hit me about 15, 16 months ago, and they blew through a stop sign where 2 highways intersect, and it flipped me into a ditch about 30 foot deep. It killed all of them right on the spot. Best thing that happened for me was an off-duty fireman seen it happen, so I had eyewitness. And I left skid marks for about 55 feet. Otherwise, I would have had to buy an attorney for sure. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And because the highway patrolman's like, man, you left hellish skid marks back there. And they had the whole accident recreation team out there in about 20 minutes. And I was like, how'd you get here so fast? They said, oh, this is the 4th vehicle fatality we've had in this area today.
Jesus.
I was like, oh, shit.
You think they might, I don't know, figure something else out.
Yeah, they had an ambulance trying to work on me. I'm like, I ain't hurt this bad. I said, I've been beat up worse than this in MMA fights. I said, leave me alone, go work on them people. You know, and I heard some of them say something, and he doesn't know yet. And I thought, oh, this can't be good. And I seen the second ambulance leave without them putting anybody in there. And then the coroner showed up. I'm like, no, this don't look very good to me, you know. The only thing that bothered me is that the next day on one of the newspapers didn't get it right.
Yeah.
The way they printed it, and it made it kind of look like I was dead. So my mom was getting deluged with phone calls. Man, we're sorry about Steve. She thought, he's sitting over here in the chair right now. I'll give you the phone.
She's like, I am too.
Yeah. I had friends tell me, hey, you ain't dead. And I'm like, what? Well, this so-and-so paper said 3 people killed, and I had your name in there. And I was like, no, I don't think I'm dead yet. I'm not in hell anyway yet. So.
It doesn't look like
paper never gets it right anyway.
Now, Ed, we've got maybe, I don't know, 12 minutes. I'm assuming you guys are just going to hang up for the last 12 minutes, right?
Whatever.
Or are you guys going to leave? You guys can leave if you want to.
We got. Yeah, we probably better.
Because I know you guys have band practice.
Yeah, we got to run our set.
Okay, well, let me do this. Let's take a quick little time out here. And when we come back, we will chat with Michael about his book. And I'm going to have Michael probably get into I don't know if Steve will get into a political argument or discussion with Michael because... But we're going to take a quick time out. Victims of Spotlight next week at the Rusty Needle here in the great Salt City of Hutchinson. And that's that. Check them out on Facebook. And you guys are on Twitter, right?
Yeah,
Victims of Spotlight. Or Vicks of Spotlight. Because Victims of Spotlight is too long of a Twitter handle. What you tried.
140 characters in the name. Easier than Victims of Spotlight, so. Which is what it turned out when I was trying to type it out. So it's Victims of Spotlight.
Well, we're going to take a quick time out, and when we come back, we've got more, so keep it locked, keep it loaded to the world famous Jiggy Jaguar experience. Brucey, jump in there and tell us what's going on.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what's going on.
Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. leave a comment, and like our videos. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and check out our website.